First of all, that may be the two most disciplined basketball teams in the country playing. I mean, that game, we come out with an 8-0 run. They're up 9 at halftime. But the game is decided the second half when they shoot. We hold them to 31% while shooting 64%. That's the game. And why? We haven't played in 18 days. We've had great practices, but we haven't played in 18 days. And if you look at the big picture, we played Stetson on that Thursday, Liberty on the Saturday before, and we hadn't played in 2 weeks before that. So I don't know. I know this. As a staff and as a basketball team and as a program, not 1 second tonight did anybody lose confidence in each other. Not anybody. And our talk at halftime was about doing what you're taught, being who you are. In the 4-minute segments, we won the first one and we got swept the next 4 in the first half. And all we talked about at halftime was the first 4 minutes. And then in that under 16, all we talked about was the next 14. Very proud of them. That's a first. Tomorrow there's going to be 20 plus the NIT, which I don't even know how that's going, but there's going to be 20 and change on March the 23rd and practicing or be able to practice tomorrow. And all I'm going to tell you is at our pregame meal today, I told this team it would be impossible for a coach or a teacher to respect a group any more than I respect them. It's respect. And they have earned that respect. It's airports, it's hotels, it's restaurants, not restaurants because you can't be in them. It's the servers in a hotel that bring food to you. I respect them so much because of who they are and the way it is to coach them. It's amazing. It was another crazy locker room, I'll tell you that, and it needs to be. Go ahead, guys.
Scott, well, first, congratulations on the win. Pedro had a career night tonight. It looked like it was a little, first half was a little tough for him to get started, but then the second half, he came in and had the effect that, he has for the team. What was the difference in that first and second half with
I think sometimes he wants it so bad. I mean, he does. He wants it so bad. And I'm not faulting him for that. Hey, if everybody cared as much as Pedro Bradshaw does on and off that court, we'd be a lot better off. And it's not just he cares about the game. He cares about everybody. He does. I hear his voice. I hear that voice constantly. And I watch him. When you're traveling, you see, and we have to eat socially distanced with a few at a table. But these guys, they all eat with different people every time. It's just special. But it was a career night. I agree. And, the free throws down the stretch, every one of them, they were in when they left his hand. He shot them with such great confidence.
All right. That first half, when the Army started making their run, they started making things difficult for you all in terms of driving inside, getting what you want, getting the looks you want to get at the rack. And what was the difference in that second half that allowed you all to go on that run and catch them, overtake them, and get you all the win here tonight?
Well, the first half, the points in the paint was 24-12 them. The second half, we outscored them by 12 points in the paint. On the season, we had that statistic of points in the paint plus free throws. On the season, tonight we were a plus 15.6 going into the night. Let's add up real quick what we were tonight. 34, they had 47, we had 51. But we defended the lane the second half, unlike the first half. The first half, they dominated us inside. And it was off the bounce. I mean, they dominated us inside. They missed 17 shots the first half and got 5 offensive rebounds. I mean, probably lucky to be down 9. If it wasn't for the 8-0 start, we wouldn't have been down 9.
All right. Well, quick turnaround. You all be facing Pepperdine tomorrow at 8. When you in tournament atmospheres like this, what's kind of the key to using this, I guess less than 12 hours? How much time now just to make sure you all get rejuvenated and back up for the back-to-back action?
We'll hydrate well, we'll ice bath, and the scout on Pepperdine's already done. Just look at their scores. They lose to UCLA, who's in the Sweet 16 in triple overtime. They lose to BYU in overtime, who took Gonzaga in the West Coast Athletic Conference championship game, down to the last 10 minutes or so. So, I mean, they're, and I've known Lorenzo Romar since he coached way back Athletes in Action St. Louis on this Washington, University of Washington. He's a tremendous coach. Their guard, Roth. Kobe Ross. Kobe Ross tonight, look it up, scored to over 200 or 2020 or 2,200 points, 400 assists, and it's unbelievable. He's what? He's third in the nation in assists. He's a 2,200 point scorer. He's one of the best guards in the country. He's the best guard we've played, period.
All right. That does it for me.
Scotty, do you like this format where you win? I know it's a quick turnaround, but do you like the format where you have a great game and then you can play again the next night?
If you're still playing, John, you love it. If they told us we had to play 2 hours, we'd change jerseys and let's go again. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. I mean, I totally understand. The people from the Gazelle group that have put on this tournament, and I've been in NCAA tournaments at both levels, this has been done in an unbelievably class fashion. They deserve a lot of credit. They really do.
Coach, I'm jumping in a little late here, but you win your first postseason game in Division I. I mean, there's a lot of firsts as you go through it, but this is an important one, I would think so.
Well, Eric, I mean, you've been there every step of the way, and it's appreciated. First of all, that we got to play postseason. That we were well thought of 92 teams, of 358 to play. And then to go out and win a game. Like I said, right before you jumped on, that may be the two most disciplined. That's 2 of the most disciplined teams in the country playing tonight. That was, but, their players haven't been off their post in 4 months, except to go play basketball. They were not allowed to leave post. And my admiration for them is much, much larger than just basketball. I mean, they're amazing. And we've recruited 2 of those young men, so I understand the type of young men they have. Our guys, I will say this too, the discipline that we played in foul trouble was a big difference in the game too. Alec and Pedro and JB, the discipline we played with the foul trouble was a key to the game.
What time will your phone stop digging like that?
I know. No, people care, man. They do. I got a text walking over here from Dr. Donovan that it's hard not to be emotional. I've got people that have impacted my life that I can see it flash. And I mean, you got to thank them. You got to thank them. They care enough to write. You got to thank them. You guys ask me though. Ask me right now. You don't have to text me later. You can ask me right now.
Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, Scott, what was working for Pedro tonight?
Well, we created some mismatches. We did some things to try to get some ISOs for him. And the first half, I mean, again, he tries so hard. And I just kind of challenged him at halftime just to kind of be a little more patient. You know, you're cutting you're hurrying a little bit, but again, he wants it so bad, John. He does. First half, he was 3 for 11. Now, is that right? Yeah, he's 3 for 11 the first half. So he went 5 for 8 the second half and got to the line 16 times on the game. But his rebounding the ball, he had 5 at halftime, 6 the second half. He rebounded the ball. He only played 27 minutes, because of the foul trouble. He played just under 28 minutes. Yeah, we all, Dylan and CJ, really, we got 3 minutes played in good shape tonight. That's important.